Alright, we're finally back after the Christmas and New Year's break. It was our first trading day yesterday, which I'm glad that we're back in the groove of things. So let's get started on a market recap. We didn't take a trade today, but I'll run you through what I was thinking and why I didn't end up trading. So over the weekend we had the news come out about Donald Trump taking over Venezuela, and that was bullish news in the market. As we can see throughout the day, we had a little opening gap up and was pushing higher and higher through our Asian abundance session. And then coming into New York Open, which is this line here, at 12:30 a.m. my time, we had lots of draws of liquidity to the downside. Here, 5-minute lows, 5-minute lows, hourly lows stacked up, and then this little weekly opening gap that it could fill. So we open here. On NASDAQ, we don't have any hourly highs to sweep until way up here. However, we did on ES, which created a nice right here. We had a nice S&T divergence from these highs down to these highs, and then these highs, and then these highs up to these highs around 12:30ish. So we had a nice hourly bearish S&T, and then we also end up getting a 5-minute S&T a bit later on. So market open, we instantly broke structure, instantly swept out these highs on ES, and then broke structure on NASDAQ. I'm looking at NASDAQ to take a trade because that's just the one I prefer trading on. So we get this break of structure to the downside here, and then we create a nice fair value gap here. Yeah, right here. Also, I think we hit equilibrium as well. Yeah, very easily hit equilibrium. So as soon as this comes up and retraces into that 5-minute fair value gap, we can scale down to the 1-minute time frame. This was the trade I was looking at and would have taken. However, we had news at 1 a.m. my time, 30 minutes after market open, which was ISM manufacturing PMI, and that's red folder news. So I was being a bit careful of that, and also the news over the weekend with Trump. Throughout the day, it was bullish, so I was being a bit careful that the market might keep going bullish, which it did end up doing. However, we'll get back into this trade here. So as soon as it pushes up into here, we're looking for a break of structure to the downside or an inverse fair value gap to the downside. And we end up getting that right here on this candle at 12:56. We end up inversing that fair value gap. So if there was no news or the news from Trump over the weekend, I would have entered here. Stops behind those highs up there and targeting either these hourly lows or this weekly opening gap. And literally that was literally the perfect trade setup that ended up not playing out and would have stopped us out. But I'm pretty sure that's just because of the Trump news taking over Venezuela over the weekend, causing the market to be bullish. And also on ES, we had these two highs here that I wasn't I didn't think it wanted to take that out because look, we have so many lows stacked up down here, but we ended up taking out these highs. So yeah, overall I'm glad I didn't take that trade. I waited for the news and was keeping the Trump news in mind, and it ended up working in my favour, not taking that trade and just waiting. So yeah. Alright, so that's the market recap. This year we're back. We have a lot of big goals in mind for this year, day trading wise. So stick around, we'll keep getting the content out and start showing you some winning trades. I've found this new thing called Trade Syncer, where you can sync multiple prop firms and trade on the one thing. So you can have like up to over 120 funded accounts linked to this one thing. So throughout this year we're just going to keep stacking up the funded accounts, getting massive payouts, and just keep going. This year's the year that we make it. My goals are very very high, but very achievable in my mind. So yeah, stick around for this year, it's going to be a good one. And like, subscribe, and comment below any questions or anything you have.